stop. Before you pull out another weed, before you spray anything, before you walk past that corner of your garden, you might want to think about this for a second. Because the most valuable thing in your garden might not be what you planted for. Look. It might be the plants that could actually support your family's health, and you've been ignoring them this whole time. A lot of people take pride in growing food for their family. Fresh vegetables, clean ingredients, no chemicals. But here's what most gardeners never realize. Some of the same plants growing right under your feet have been studied for how they support things like stress sleep, digestion, and immunity. Yet we still go straight to the pharmacy without a second thought. This isn't about replacing medicine. It's about understanding what you already have access to and using it better. In this video, we're breaking down 10 plants that aren't just nice to grow, they actually do something. Number 3 is one a lot of experienced gardeners keep around for a reason. And number 1 is something you've probably used dozens of times without realizing what it's really capable of. So before we start, what time are you watching this and where are you watching from? Drop it below. Now let's take a closer look at what your garden has really been hiding. Number 10. Lavender. The molecular kill switch for stress. If you're growing lavender just because it looks nice or smells pleasant, you're missing what it actually does best. For many people, the real issue isn't finding time to relax. It's that even when they stop, their body stays tense. The mind keeps running, sleep comes late, and stress lingers longer than it should. Lavender has been studied for how its natural compounds interact with the nervous system, helping the body shift into a calmer state, without the heavy sedating effect people often try to avoid. It's not about knocking you out. It's about helping your system slow down more naturally. That's why many people notice better sleep quality, fewer tension headaches, and a more balanced mood during stressful periods. Growing it is simple. Lavender thrives in full sun-dry soil and doesn't need much water once established, making it one of the easiest low-maintenance plants in any garden. To use it, you can dry the flowers for tea, keep a small bundle near your bed, or apply a small amount of oil to your temples in the evening. It's not instant, and it's not a cure, but used consistently, it can become a reliable way to help your body reset after long, demanding days. Number 9. Rosemary. The turbocharge for your brain. If you have rosemary in your garden, you aren't just growing a garnish, you're growing a natural cognitive enhancer. For years, we've used it for roasted chicken, but neuroscientists are now using it to study memory. This is the ultimate brain hack for anyone who feels like they're constantly living in a mental fog. The insight you need is this. Rosemary contains a specific compound that actually stops your brain from breaking down its own memory-forming chemicals. It's like a natural save button for your focus. In clinical tests, simply smelling rosemary boosted accuracy and speed on mental tasks by up to 75%. Why buy expensive nootropics or smart pills when you can just crush a leaf from your garden and inhale? If you have a big meeting or a long day of study, skip the extra caffeine. Diffuse the oil or sip a rosemary infusion to keep your brain sharp and your memory locked in. It's cheap, it's effective, and it's likely sitting in your kitchen right now. Stop seeing it as a spice. Start seeing it as your brain's best friend. Number 8. Chamomile. The anxiety killer. Hiding in your lawn. A lot of people see chamomile as a mild, almost forgettable tea. Something simple, something light. But if you've ever struggled to slow your mind down at night, this small flower is doing more than most people realize. Chamomile contains a natural compound called apigenin, which has been studied for how it interacts with receptors in the brain linked to relaxation and sleep. It doesn't force your body to shut down, but it helps take the edge off that restless, overactive feeling that keeps people awake. That's why many notice falling asleep more easily and waking up feeling more rested without the heavy grogginess that stronger options can cause. Chamomile does well in full sun with light, well-drained soil and can even thrive in less than perfect garden conditions. Once it starts flowering, it often reseeds itself, coming back with very little effort. Fresh or dried flowers can be steeped in hot water for about 10 minutes to make a gentle tea, especially in the evening when your body needs to wind down. It's not overpowering, and that's exactly the point. Chamomile works quietly in the background, helping your body shift into rest when it needs it most. Love learning what your garden can really do? Hit subscribe and join our community. Let's grow our own health together. Number 7. Peppermint. The garden's instant pain relief. That mint plant taking over your yard isn't an invasive weed. It's actually a high-performance medical tool waiting for a job. I learned this the hard way during a brutal summer harvest a few years ago. I was working under the midday sun when a massive tension headache hit me like a hammer. Instead of quitting and heading for the aspirin, I grabbed a handful of fresh leaves, crushed them until my hands were sticky with oil, and rubbed them directly onto my temples. The icy hot sensation was so fast and so cooling that the throbbing vanished before I even finished my glass of water. This isn't just about a fresh scent. It's about a chemical called menthol that acts as a natural muscle relaxant. Scientific research has actually proven that topical peppermint oil works just as well as pharmaceutical painkillers for stopping headaches. And for anyone dealing with a bloated, heavy stomach after a meal, this plant is your best friend. It relaxes the smooth muscles in your gut, stopping spasms and pain in minutes. Whether you're fighting chronic pain or just a slow digestion, stop trying to kill the mint in your garden and start letting it heal you. It's the fastest-acting medicine you'll ever grow. Enjoying these natural health hacks? Hit subscribe and join our community. Let's grow our way to a better lifestyle together. Number 6. Elderberry. The viral kill switch. That dark bushy tree at the edge of your property is a literal cheat code for flu season. While most people run to the pharmacy for overpriced syrups, you have a clinical-grade antiviral growing for free. This is the ultimate fast pass to recovery that the modern medical establishment rarely highlights. The science is undeniable. Clinical studies have proven that elderberry can shorten flu duration by an average of 4 days. It contains potent anthocyanins that actually bind to viruses, blocking them from entering your cells and replicating. It's not just supporting your immune system, it's putting a deadbolt on the door. Never eat the berries raw, they'll make you sick. Instead, simmer 1 cup of dried berries in 3 cups of water with ginger and cinnamon for 45 minutes. Strain it, let it cool, and stir in raw honey. Take 1 tablespoon daily for prevention, or up to 4 times a day if you feel a scratchy throat coming on. Stop being a victim of flu season and start using the defense that's been working for thousands of years. Number 5. Aloe vera. The biological bandage. Forget those neon green bottles of After Sun gel at the store. They're mostly water and alcohol. If you have this spiky succulent on your windowsill, you're sitting on a medical-grade repair kit that's been outperforming expensive burn creams for 6,000 years. This isn't just about cooling down a sunburn. It's about a high-speed cellular rebuild. Inside every leaf is a clear biogel packed with 75 active compounds that act like a construction crew for your skin. When you apply it, specific polysaccharides literally glue your skin cells back together, forcing them to regenerate. In fact, when put head-to-head with standard pharmacy dressings, fresh aloe has been shown to knit second-degree burns back together up to 9 days faster. It's the difference between a scar and a clean heal. Skip the processed stuff. Slice a mature leaf, scrape out the clear inner flesh, and apply it thick. If you're dealing with acid reflux or a hot stomach blend, that clear gel into a drink to coat your digestive tract. It's a first aid kit that grows itself and never expires. Most people stop watching here and keep overpaying at the drugstore, but if you stay for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you a kitchen waste that can actually drop your blood pressure naturally. Number 4. Turmeric. The liquid gold in your soil. Did you know that the easiest root to grow in a warm corner of your garden is actually a pharmaceutical-grade fire extinguisher for your cells? If you've only ever used turmeric as a dried powder from a jar, you haven't seen its true power. While most gardeners grow it for those lush tropical leaves, the real treasure is the bright orange rhizome hiding underground a root that pharmaceutical companies have spent billions trying to replicate in a lab. The magic happens because of curcumin. We're living in an era of chronic inflammation, the silent killer behind stiff joints, heart issues, and brain fog. Curcumin doesn't just numb the pain. It travels deep into your system to flip the off switch on inflammation at a molecular level. In several head-to-head trials, fresh turmeric performed on par with leading anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the gut-shredding side effects of synthetic pills. Here is the garden-to-table. Secret, freshly harvested turmeric is exponentially more potent than the store-bought version. But your body is terrible at absorbing it alone. To unlock its healing potential, you must pair it with a pinch of black pepper. The piperine in the pepper acts as a biological key, boosting your absorption of the turmeric by a staggering 2,000%. Grate your homegrown root into a morning tea, add that crack of pepper, and let it clean your system from the inside out. Number 3. Echinacea, the garden's immune shield. You probably know this as the purple coneflower, a tough, low-maintenance flower that keeps coming back year after year. But what most gardeners don't realize is that this plant has been studied for decades for one specific reason: how it supports your, here's the part that actually echinacea doesn't work like a typical drug that targets one symptom. Instead, it interacts with your immune system in a much broader way, helping your body respond faster when something feels off. That's why many people reach for it at the very first sign of a cold, not after they're already sick. Some clinical reviews suggest that certain echinacea preparations may reduce the duration or severity of common colds, especially when taken early. Not a miracle cure, but a noticeable edge when timing matters. If you're growing it, don't just admire the flowers. The most potent compounds are concentrated in the roots of mature plants, usually after 2 to 3 years. And here's a small detail. Experienced herbalists look for a high-quality root or tincture often creates a slight tingling sensation on your tongue. That's a sign the active compounds are present. Use it early, use it consistently, and think of it less as a cure and more as your body's early warning support system. Number 2, ginger, the high-performance biological hack. That humid, shaded corner of your garden is hiding a pharmaceutical alternative that has outlasted every medical trend for the last 5,000 years. While the world treats ginger as a simple culinary spice, clinical labs are finally admitting it's a powerhouse for pain and digestion that puts many synthetic drugs to shame. We aren't just talking about a warming flavor. We're talking about gingerol's active compounds that physically block the inflammatory pathways in your body just as effectively as over-the-counter painkillers. The evidence is staggering. In head-to-head trials, ginger outperformed leading pharmaceutical anti-nausea medications for everything from motion sickness to post-surgical recovery. It doesn't just numb your stomach, it speeds up gastric emptying, forcing your body to process discomfort and move on. Whether you're fighting a brutal migraine or chronic joint stiffness, this root is a natural reset button that carries zero pill hangover or gut damage. Stick a shop-bought organic rhizome into loose, rich soil in partial shade. Once those green shoots die back, harvest the young ginger for the highest concentration of medicinal juice. For an instant pain-killing tea, grate a thumb-sized piece of the fresh, juicy root into hot water and steep for 10 minutes. It is the cleanest, fastest-acting anti-inflammatory you will ever grow. Number 1. Garlic, the undisputed king of the garden pharmacy. This is the one almost everyone overlooks. You cook with it, you crush it, you throw it into meals without thinking twice. But garlic isn't just flavor. It's one of the most extensively studied medicinal plants in the world. And the reason comes down to one compound, allicin. Here's what's interesting. Allicin isn't actually present in whole garlic. It forms only after you crush or chop it, triggering a natural chemical reaction. And once it forms, it shows strong antimicrobial activity in lab settings, along with measurable benefits for heart health in human studies. We're not talking about replacing antibiotics or prescriptions, but regular garlic consumption has been linked to supporting immune function, helping maintain healthy blood pressure, contributing to better cardiovascular health over time. That's a lot of impact from something sitting in your kitchen. But there's one mistake almost everyone makes. If you cook garlic immediately after chopping it, you destroy most of the allicin before it even forms. Instead, let it sit for about 10 minutes after crushing. That simple step allows the reaction to fully develop so you actually get the benefit. If you want the strongest effect, many people use it raw, often mixed with honey, to soften the intensity, especially when they feel something coming on. It's not instant, it's not magic. But used consistently, garlic is one of the simplest, most reliable ways to support your health, right from your garden. The most sophisticated medicines on the planet aren't always found in a sterile lab. They are often found in the dirt on your boots or the spice rack in your kitchen. We've covered 10 plants that have the power to reset your nervous system, turbocharge your brain, and kill viruses on contact. The key is to stop seeing your garden as a hobby and start seeing it as your primary healthcare provider. When you grow your own medicine, you take the power back from big industries and put it where it belongs, in your own hands. What time are you watching this video, and where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. You might just find people in your city who share the same mindset and lifestyle goals as you. If this video changed how you look at the weeds in your backyard, hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-backed garden secrets. The pharmacy has always been right there. Now you know exactly what to look for.